Hello again, everyone. Just wanted to make another quick video for you all just to show you the very basics of how to set up your Zoll to run a cardiac arrest. I understand there's been a lot of worries around this, but it is very, very simple. I'm sure for a lot of people it's just the worry of using a new bit of kit we're not too used to. So I've just got a little setup here on station, and I'll just quickly run through what it will look like when you get the ball rolling if you attend a cardiac arrest and you're doing some resuscitation. So I've got a dummy already here connected to our defib pads and some of our training kit to simulate a rhythm. For yourselves, it's just pads on as usual. For those who've done your training, which I think pretty much everyone should have done at this point, or we've only got a few left to do, it's just the puck, which is the new bit of kit we've got, and that's going to give you your real-time feedback on the Zoll monitor about the quality of your CPR. If you do need to move it, however, on the real pads, as you can see, these are training ones, so they're slightly different. This little bridge here is slightly perforated. In practice, I've been able to literally just pull them apart and they cut very cleanly. And then you can either put the puck to the side if you don't feel you can use it, or if you need to put them further apart, let's say for a very large patient, and this pad's going to be a bit further apart from where you're doing your CPR. So what we'll do now is turn on our monitor and let that get started. When these turn on, they always run a short self-check, so you will have to wait a few moments until the self-test is passed, and then we can get the ball rolling. So you're going to be using the AED on this as standard. You are able to use manual as a clinician if you've got enough hands to do so, but the recommendation is always going to be using this in AED mode. Now, I'm just going to press the alarm button here for a few moments of silence. We've got the patient on the floor in cardiac arrest. We've got our pads on, so we want to get our first shock in. By the look of it, it's VF, so we're definitely going to want to give that a zap. All you have to do is press analyze. That's going to turn on the AED.
And clear.
And it's now going to check. It's also charging the defib for us at the same time. So when it makes the decision, it's immediately available to shock, or it removes the charge straight away if it's not going to shock. So we'll give it a zap.
Perform CPR.
And now you can see it tells us the amount of energy it's delivered and the CPR countdown timer for our next rhythm check and the amount of shocks we've given as well. You might have noticed that the initial energy was 120, but it shocked at something like 132. These pads will check for attenuation of signal through tissue. That's a really fancy way of saying how much mass of a patient the energy's got to travel between the two pads. So if you've got a very large patient, it just adjusts the energy a bit higher, so it makes sure the heart gets exactly 120 joules. At this point, you wouldn't have been nattering on like I have, and you would have done some CPR. So bear with me as I do it one-handed, and you'll see you get your little dashboard up there. Okay, and you're just going to listen to this, give you a bit of feedback, like for me, not quite fast enough, and a little too deep. And I'll leave it at that. And then obviously you've also got your idle timer for when you've been off the chest for a bit. Also, just to assure yourselves, there's no need to pick energy in AED mode. It's automatically selecting energy values for you. And just as a quick reminder, it will do 120, 150, and then 200 joules, and then 200 for all subsequent shocks after that in adult mode. I'm just going to jump ahead to just show you how to disarm the AED and then get it back to usual. So you wouldn't do this. This is just for the purpose of getting your next shock ready. So imagine you're just about to give the second shock and you decide that the scene is unsafe for whatever reason and you need to disarm the defibrillator. To do that, I'd recommend pressing the down button on energy select. This will dump the charge and put it into manual mode as a temporary thing. At this point, I recommend you try and make the scene safe for whatever reason you felt it wasn't, and then when you're ready to shock, you just press the analyze button again, and it will put you exactly where you left off. So you can see it's not jumped down to 120, it's 150 joules. So it remembers it's already delivered the first one, give the shock, and
Perform
then
CPR.
you'll count down as usual, and you've got your 2 shocks logged. I hope that answers most questions. Feel free to give me a message on the Facebook posts or comments in the YouTube channel just to let me know if there's any other subject you'd like me to make quick recap videos for. Hope that helps.